Yeah, welcome again to our second lesson under automotive wiring diagram. Today we are going to cover automotive wiring diagram symbols so that when we enter the diagrams, it will be very easy for us to understand what the diagram is all about. It will be easy for us to interpret because we'll know all what the line is translated to, and all symbols will be able to interpret them with ease. So in automotive wiring diagram, symbols will be explained, and it will explain electrical parts and functions. Today we are going to learn how to read and understand automotive electric wiring diagrams. This training explains common electrical parts and symbols used in vehicles, construction machineries, and farm equipment, perfect for technicians, engineering students, and engineers, and also managers who are mostly managing people carrying out these repairs. Parts and symbols used in automotive electrical system wiring diagram. Automotive electrical system can look confusing, especially when you see wiring diagram full of lines, symbols, and connection. In this video, you will learn the most important parts and symbols used in automotive electrical wiring diagram and how to understand what they mean. This knowledge is essential for vehicle maintenance, troubleshooting, and safe electrical repairs and installations. What is a wiring diagram? A wiring diagram is a visual representation of how electrical components are connected in a vehicle or a construction machinery. It shows the power source, control devices, loads, protection components, and ground connections using standardized symbols. Understanding these symbols allows you to trace circuits and identify faults quickly. Power supply components. Here, our major source of power is battery. The battery is the main power source of the vehicle, construction machines, and farm equipment. In wiring diagrams, it is shown using a long line for positive and a short line for negative. The battery supplies power for starting, lighting, and accessories. Alternator is also a power source. The alternator generates electricity while the engine is running. Before we start the engine, alternator is not giving power. But when we start engine, the alternator starts giving us power. So its symbol is as you see it on the screen, and it's the alternator itself. That is how it looks like. It keeps the battery charged and supplies power to the vehicle. In protection devices, we will see the symbol for fuse. A fuse protects the circuit from excessive current. In diagram, it appears as a small rectangle and in between with a wire passing through. When current exceeds safe limit, the fuse melts and breaks the circuit. Circuit breakers. Circuit breaker works like a fuse, but the difference here, when power exceeds the limit for a circuit breaker, it trips. So you can reset and reuse it again. Unlike fuse, when current exceeds limit, it melts off, so you have to replace it. It is commonly used in power windows, under seat sockets, and many other components. Control devices. In control devices, we'll cover things like switch. A switch opens or closes an electric circuit. In wiring diagram, we use different switch symbols depending on their type, such as a single pole or double pole switches. Examples include light switches, brake switches, ignition switches, stop switches, etc. Under control components, we'll also cover relays. A relay allows low current signal to control a high current load. Its symbol is as shown, as you see, with a coil and a switch contacts. Relays are used for starters, horns, cooling fans, headlights, etc. As you can see the symbol with the real part, they look different, but this is what translates to the relay when you come to the wiring diagram. We have load devices. Under load devices, we'll have things like lamps. Lamps convert electrical energy into lights. In the diagram, lamps are shown as a circle with filament symbol, as you can see up there, and downside you will see that is the lamps themselves. They include headlights, brake lights, and indicators. We'll have motors as a load device. Motors convert electrical energy into mechanical movement. They are shown as a circle with the letter M, as you can see up there. The examples include wiper motors, starter motors, window motors, and many others. As you can see on the screen, we have several of the motors, but all of them they are represented as you can see above in the wiring diagram. We have electronic components. In electronic components, we have things like sensors. Sensors monitor conditions like temperature, speed, and pressure, etc. And they monitor around the machine and they send this signal to the control, and the control gives output for optimum operation of the machine. We have ECU stroke ECM. As you have seen in the sensors, all the sensors, they will send the signal to the ECU or to machine control, or it will be like maybe body control or battery control. So the ECU is the engine control unit, is the brain of modern vehicle engine and other related parts. It is shown always in a rectangle form with many wires for output and input. It processes sensors data and controls fuel injection, ignition, emission, etc. We'll say wires and connections. Under wires and connections, you will find on the electric diagram or wiring diagram, all wires are represented by a straight line and connections are represented by a dot. As you can see in our sample, we have one point where we have a dot, that one line coming to 19. It means line 19 is connected to that wire, and others you can see it's just crossing over. If it is crossing over, it just means It is just a normal wire, it's not connected. So please don't connect wires which are not supposed to be connected. Here we come about the ground. Ground is shown on the diagram, as you can see there, with the wire lines, with the upper line going downwards as they go on shortening. Ground always on the machine is connected on the chassis of the machine or on the body of engine. Here we'll see some of the special symbols. In special symbols, we'll find symbols like for the sensors. Every sensor have different symbol depending on what it is for. Like for example, as you see, the last one down is a temperature sensor. The middle one is a pressure sensor. The upper one, it is a proxy sensor. Then we'll have like light, we have fuse, we have voltmeter, we have ammeter, thermistor, we have coil, we have diode, resistor, etc. We will cover more in the next lesson. Why this knowledge is important? Understanding wiring diagram symbols helps you to 1. Troubleshoot faults faster, avoid wiring mistakes, perform self-electrical repairs, read service manuals confidently. Supposing, like for example, in our example, if you have a vibrator is not working and you have knowledge about wiring diagram, it is simple. You will see direct very well. It is coming from the battery, it will go to fuse, then from the fuse it will go to relay, and we'll have there the switch to switch the relay. So it is very easy for you to troubleshoot the problem if you know the layout of the diagram. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share. We meet in the next lesson. Thank you.